All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the alaracanfieldshow, the Awaken Happiness Now global series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And my good friend, Joy Baker, is back with us. And we are talking about healing generational trauma and pain, breaking the patterns of your past, and live a life of freedom, right? We all would love that. So we're going to be talking about that. I know Joy is going to be working with live callers. So some of you have already raised your hand. Awesome. You can even type your question in the chat. And Joy is going to be facilitating a group process where we'll be able to have the opportunity to retrieve the gifts from our ancestors. So that'll be fun. So we're going to talk today about, inherited trauma, and has inherited trauma shaped who you are? If you're feeling stuck or nothing seems to change no matter what you do, you could be stuck in a pattern of generational pain and trauma. We're going to talk about and learn how to take steps to break free and experience freedom. And of course, so much more. Joy loves to take, live caller questions, and the questions, is, clearings is what happens usually during those questions. So that's always fun. So be willing to receive, because when she clears for one, she clears for all. So for those of you who don't know Joy, she's been with us many times. We love having her on the show. She's a powerhouse. I've worked with her myself, and oh, yes, she's good. She's really, really good. So I really encourage you to work with Joy if you can. So Joy excels at supporting individuals with becoming unstuck and freeing themselves so that they can live a more fulfilled and creative life. Since we're rarely taught as children how to process and let go of emotions that are limiting us, those emotions can become stuck in our bodies at a cellular level. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. And we're going to talk about Joy's clearings and activations, because those are, again, really powerful, really spot on. And you can read some of the testimonials on the special offer page and the email, but really, really, I was stunned myself when she worked with me, with the stuff that came up. So please join me in welcoming Joy back to the show. Joy, welcome.
Hey, Lara, it's so great to be back on your show. Yeah, I'm looking forward to interacting with you and your listeners.
Awesome, thank you. And so there are some questions in the chat as well, and people have their hands raised, so which is awesome. And we're going to try and take, as many as we can. We'll see how it goes. But let's start talking about trauma, right? And especially this, this generational trauma, which we may not even know we have or are carrying, right?
Yeah, generally we're not even aware of it. And I'm a big believer in dealing with what's going on in this lifetime first. But if you've gone down that path several times and the things, the same pattern or default or issue keeps coming up, look back into it. Chances are it's generational trauma. I mean, we are on a cellular level, we're a completely new human every 7 years, but what gets passed down is memory and trauma, and that can get passed down from generation to generation. And it's so important now, Alara, to really be aware of this and to choose differently, because we've entered the age of Aquarius. I mean, everything is shifting. That's what all this chaos is now. I mean, so many people, as I'm sure you have been experiencing as well, are experiencing extreme chaos. And this is a breaking apart, the dissolving of all the old stuff, because we've been stuck in the matrix in the 3D for thousands of years. And that density, it would be great if it would just kind of go away and we live this magical life all of a sudden. But in the meantime, there's a lot of chaos. And that while I know, because I know many people are experiencing that right now, it's not an easy thing to go through, but you will get through it. You are going to get through it, and you're coming out the other side more self-aware, enlightened, more intuitive, a stronger knowing within yourself. So if you're in the midst of the chaos right now, you'll be okay. You're going through it for a reason. And chances are, yeah, you're breaking up and busting up and actively moving through generational trauma. So in other words, you're not doing this just for yourself. You're doing it for all of humanity and your ancestors. Because what's so powerful about this is that when we release, we also release for our ancestors. I have worked with clients and been doing an ancestral release, and I still remember the moment I felt that in one case, the ancestors release, and it was like they all cheered, and I just felt this lightning. I could almost feel tears coming to my eyes because it was just so powerful, because they know on the other side. I mean, you know, as humans, we think everything is, we see it separated and physical, but it's all connected. So yeah, that's really, if you're just stuck somewhere and it feels like nothing ever changes, either there's a pattern, but some kind of pattern or default, and it could be a core issue, because we often have to work through, you know, core issues or family issues, and we go to a deeper and deeper layer. But also ask yourself if it's a, you know, generational trauma that's been passed down, because a lot of families, especially because we're coming out of the 3D, and the age of Pisces was all about illusion, keeping that, you know, that mask on people. And there's been a lot of family secrets that have been passed down for hundreds of years.
Absolutely. And the thing is, a lot of those secrets we don't know consciously, but it is in our cellular memories, it's in our DNA, right? So it is all there. But, you know, I've never, and I've said this before, I've never been that attached to my ancestors, because like, okay, how can they possibly help me? But after working with Dr. Monique many times on the show, it's like, okay, yeah, I got it, right? But our ancestors, can they really affect us in our current lifetime? I mean, not just their wounds, right? But also, you know, their gifts, their talents, their strength. Can that also, you know, affect us in this lifetime? Help us, I guess you would say.
Absolutely. Most of us will think more about the trauma in that, because we're going, you know, we're in the rabbit hole, we're working through our stuff. But if there's something you're wanting in your life, say you want to feel happier, you want to feel more peace, if it's financial abundance. So I suggest, if anybody's going back to connect with an ancestor around financial abundance, also include happiness, because when they created financial abundance, say 1,000 or 500 or 100 years ago, often that was from a lower consciousness or even greed. And we're in the new earth now. So you create financial abundance, but you create it from peace, happiness, relaxation, ease. So go back, and we'll do that in the group process. You can go back, you can choose financial abundance, and then choose some kind of new earth emotion with that. So you're, you know, you're connecting the two. But yeah, you can. So we work through, because we need to release a density. And when we're releasing it for, that's what light workers are doing. They're releasing the density for all of humanity. You're releasing it for yourself, for humanity, for them, but also go back. And I think many of us forget, can, you know, just ask your ancestors for support, because you've got ancestors. Yes, they've been through trauma and family secrets, but they've also been, some have been really wealthy or happy or joyful or courageous. You know, we've got some really brave, you know, ancestors back there. Tap into that. And then, and in the process, we'll do this, just bring it into the new earth and let it support you that way.
Yeah, I love that. And so, because, you know, I don't always like to focus on the trauma part, because I think we have been releasing so much trauma the past few years, for sure. But I also, you know, I also like to focus on the positive stuff, because the ancestors, we don't want to give them a bad rap, and that we're only taking on their bad stuff. No, we're also claiming the good stuff as well. So when it comes to the generational healing, for me, when I think of generational healing, I think of, you know, all my generations going back, but also my generations going forward, right? So my children, my children's children as well, right? So right now, for example, with all this generational healing that we're doing, I think it's making a huge impact on the collective, right? But what else is happening with the collective right now that is that we are assisting by doing this generational healing?
Good question. We're just really lightening up the energy, and we're also, the more you can focus on compassion for animals, humans, nature, anything, the more there's going to be a lot of people awakening that have just been, you know, stuck in the 3D, have no idea. Some might have a little bit of idea, some have none. And in the next, you know, short while, I think there's going to be a lot of information come out, and they're going to be awakening. And I think it's going to be important that we bless humanity, bless the earth, animals with compassion and understanding. And in that way we can support, I mean, and that raises everything when we just when you bless yourself with compassion and focus on compassion and focus on your heart, and let your heart send little puffs of, love and compassion and appreciation and understanding out to humanity, because you get that back, and it supports everybody. And that's how we're co-creating the new work. Yeah. So it's breaking up the density all the time. We're breaking up this density because we are in the age of Aquarius now. I mean, these are 2,000-year periods, so it's not going to happen overnight, but the shift has happened, and we're all feeling those. The Schumann resonance is having spikes, and people are not sleeping and chaos and that, but it's all coming up right now. And that's, again, for anybody who's going through that, you will get through this, and we are going, co-creating the new earth.
Well, my favorite mantra is, this too shall pass.
Yeah, I often say that as well. Yeah, I remind myself that sometimes.
Right? This too shall pass. Okay. Yeah. And what was I going to say along those same lines? So Sandra had, Layla had said, if I don't have children, is my healing of self also healing my family, like brothers, nieces, nephews, aunts, and uncles? Absolutely. So the thing is, when we are healing, doing any healing work on ourselves, we are affecting the collective for sure, at the collective level, but we are affecting our immediate circle, our immediate family, whether they recognize it or not. Okay. So whether they recognize it or not, we're doing a lot of work on their behalf as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Relationships can shift a lot. Now, where we, especially as empaths, and we really want, often because we're intuitive, we want the best for others, and we can see what's the best, but we have to give them choice. So when you shift, so like Layla, when you said yes, you shift because your frequency shifts. So then they have a choice, and that's what we need to honor, is they have a choice. Some people will get angry, see, because you're not resonating, you're not aligning with them at the same frequency. And so some people, and I've had that with clients, where somebody close to them or a parent or something got angry with them for no reason afterwards, because they're in a higher frequency. That parent or family member doesn't know what's going on, but they can feel there's a shift in the relationship. Well, the only way they know how to connect, say, is through anger, or maybe fear, or bullying, or whatever it is. So they will, if they're not self-aware, they're not on the path, they will often carry out the same behavior they know how to use to connect with others. So it's those that are on the path and more like self-aware and know what's going on, and they are actively working on themselves, and they know they're raising their frequency. When somebody responds like that, you know why. Now, on the same hand, I've heard of people's relationships just, they're just so much better. The power struggle is gone. I heard of one grandmother that hadn't seen her grandson in 2 years because of a bitter divorce and all that. I worked with her and saw her 2 weeks later, and she said after 10 days everything started to shift. She was going to have her first meeting with see her grandson first time in 2 years. Like, it was a pretty big thing, and that was because we had worked specifically on this case and her daughter-in-law, and released the power struggle and the anger and that, and it just shifted everything. So
so that you made a good point too. It's like, when people are not aware of what's happening, they might just react in their old patterns, right? And so that's when we, who are more aware, who are doing the work, that's when we have to come back to that place of compassion, right? Yes. Compassion for ourselves, like, oh my God, but also total compassion for them, because they don't know, right? They have no idea. And so this is just how they react, and it's okay. They'll get it when they get it, right?
Compassion and understanding, and something I've used it for years, but I've been using it more recently because I found it so powerful, is if you're stuck, especially if you're stuck in power struggle with somebody or a group or organization or such, ask the universe, how can I see this situation from multiple points of view, from an expanded understanding and perception? Because when you see something, when you're stuck, when you're locked in power struggle with somebody, or there's just, the energetic cords are just stuck and nobody's moving, you're stuck in that dynamic of right and wrong. That's a 3D. That's a matrix dynamic. That's designed to keep you stuck and separated. Anytime you're right and wrong. And if you're getting any neck pain, tension, anything like that, so going down in your shoulders back, you're stuck in that right and wrong dynamic in a singular point of view. So just ask yourself, ask the universe, source, open me up to seeing this from an expanded understanding. Open me up to seeing this from multiple points of view. And yeah, I can just feel the release here.
I was making faces because I've been having neck pain for the past couple of days, but for me it's because I'm not sleeping. My poor dog is up all night long for whatever reason, so when I don't sleep, it just affects my neck. But it's like, but yeah, but it's like, so then I checked in. It's like, is there a power struggle here? Where am I fighting to be right? Where am I, so it's important for us to check in with ourselves all the time. What is going on with me? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I pushing up against? Right. So having those conversations, it's not just automatically going into the, oh, I'm feeling this. Well, okay, cool. What else is going on? Right. So a lot of times we pick up on, a lot of stuff from other people. Like you said, we are so empathic. And right now there's so much happening in the world, so much chaos that's going on in all of our lives right now, that what are we really truly picking up on, right? And is it ours? Is it somebody else's? Is it the conflict in the collective? There's so much going on. So don't just automatically rush to judgment, right?
Yeah, and you can ask yourself, does this belong to me or is this mine? Because probably 98% of what you're feeling, thinking, your emotions and that aren't even yours. They belong to somebody else. And so some people like to return to sender. I just send it to the light, just send it to the light. And, the light transforms it into a higher frequency. So by sending it to the light, we're, helping all of humanity anyways. So. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you. So for those of us who are, experiencing trauma of some sort, and we are, thinking it may be generational because I've tried everything and for some reason it's not shifting, it's not moving. What can we do? What steps can we take to begin to release that generational trauma?
First thing I do is just what I mentioned there, but you can do it for any situation. I'll just say sometimes to the universe, if there are any situations where I'm stuck or in power struggle, just show me how to understand them from a higher perspective. Even if you don't know the situation, source does, the universe does. Your life, just if you look at your life, whether it's money or anything else, and your life, just your physical life will give you a real, let's say you're stuck in lack and limitation around money. I went through 2 bankruptcies. So yeah, I'm definitely stuck in there for a long time. Or relationships, or your career, or if you're not getting a job, you're stuck somewhere. And ask yourself, you can look at your family members, you can look at, you can just ask source, are there any generational patterns here? I mean, source knows it all anyways. They take care of you. They're all you have to do is ask and you're going to be taken care of. And just ask source, if there are any generational patterns here, trauma, if there's any points of view that I'm stuck in, because often we'll get stuck in points of view that worked 50, 100, 200 years ago. They were designed to keep us stuck, and they were designed to support our survival based on the consciousness and how we lived, hundreds, 50 years ago, and that. They don't support us anymore. Just ask source and say, source, if there are any generational patterns, defaults, trauma, beliefs, anything that I'm stuck in right now that is preventing me from moving forward, that is preventing me from moving into the new earth, from creating in that 5D space, support me in releasing them now on all levels, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, cellular. There you go. Just take a deep breath in. Yeah, there you go. I felt a release there.
And then be willing to receive and be willing to be aware of information that you might receive about it.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Always keep that in mind. Like all the time is receiving, because we'll do this work. Like you said, we go down the rabbit path or the rabbit hole when we can get stuck in that. But remember to receive. The 5D, the new earth, is all about receiving. And often as empaths, we don't receive because in the 3D, it was about greed. but we're not stuck there anymore. So allow yourself to receive. Yes, very important.
And we all can. All right. So just if you have this something coming up around receiving, tell yourself, talk to yourself that you are deserving, you are worthy, you can receive. You allow yourself to receive. Give yourself permission to receive. I don't know why that's all coming up, but I just thought I would share it since it's coming up. So it's like,
it's important. Yeah, receiving is, I mean, because we can do all the work and yet forget to receive. Because often, again, in the 3D, we need to remind ourselves, we've moved into a different space now. In the 3D, often receiving was about greed, and it was promoted, that if you're going to receive, you're greedy. And that I think we've all heard the saying, giving is better than receiving. And I used to say that. I used to believe that. I don't anymore, because it's energy, and energy is a flow. And that's saying energy going out is better than energy coming in. When you look at it that way, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And if you don't receive, somewhere there's got to be receivers. For somebody to be able to give, somebody's got to be able to receive. So what if you're actually giving a gift to somebody else by being willing to receive? So yeah,
there you go.
I mean, Perfect. It's a flow of energy, giving and receiving and giving. So yes, absolutely, let yourself receive. And if you look at your life and you're like, I remember saying to myself, and it was a few years ago, like, why would I create this? And it was around money. And well, I was doing better with money, as you value yourself, money is attracted to those that value themselves. Money is attracted to, value. And so I was doing better, out of the bankruptcy stage. But I looked at my life and I said, why would I create this? If it's really true, here I am, an energy worker, an intuitive, working with others. And if it's really true that we create everything, then why would I create a life where I struggle financially? Or money isn't flowing? So then I really, took a look at everything. And yes, any ancestral beliefs, any my family issues, and I asked source again. Source knows. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just trust source, and source will.
Yeah, absolutely. So start trusting as well. So start receiving and start trusting.
Yeah, receiving and trusting will go a long way. Without trust, trust is the foundation for everything. Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of us are working on that, right? So I know that for myself, I've had a lot of trust issues in my life. There's no question. But I've gotten a lot better. And receiving, I'm actually pretty good. I'm actually pretty good. So, but I know even with that, I've gotten better and better. So the more healing work that I've done on myself, and you all know I do a lot of healing work on myself. Myself, plus I go to healers as well, but I do a lot of healing work. And so that I can see how those changes have, it's made a difference, in my receiving, in my money flows, in how much more money I'm earning now, creating now, generating now, right, than before. And it's also about recognizing, that you have a value the way that you are, just as you are valuable, but I don't like that word, but worthy and deserving and are of value as you are. So you don't have to be something or somebody. You don't have to do anything. Because you exist, you are, important.
The value, yes.
Right. And so once we start to recognize that, then also our receiving channels open up even more, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. The more you value yourself, the more you open up to receiving.
Yeah, and stop punishing yourself, for God's sakes. I can say it easily now, but I did it for over 25 years. I was punishing myself, but now I can say, don't do that.
Yeah, and we often do. Somebody said to me once, can I hate money and yet be abundant? And I was like, no, because you're sending out that dark, like low frequency. And it's just like you're sending everything away from you. So the more and that hate, I mean, if you hate money, it's coming from somewhere. It's coming from within you. So whatever you're sending out, however you feel towards somebody else, is coming from within you. So that's what you're radiating out. Absolutely. So yes, the more, especially if you're in a habit, our self-talk is so important, and it will absolutely, for anybody who's got any health issues at whatsoever, your self-talk will either make it worse, it will destroy your immune system, or it will build up your health and your well-being, your self-talk. Because I have felt the difference when I've, like, in the moment, literally, I felt the difference, and I felt the pain, immediately shifted it and felt better.
And that is a power that we all have. I just want you all to know that that is a power that we all have. We all have the power to change our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our vibration. Okay, so
yes, absolutely.
It really, don't take that lightly, right? This is about being present in the moment and actually monitoring, what am I saying to myself? What am I saying to others, and how am I feeling about this and that and the other thing, right? So as soon as you start going into that negative vibe, change it. You can by, we're going to talk about that in this call. We've talked about that many, many times, but I do it by going for a walk with the boys. It's like nature is my best friend. The boys are the boys, meaning the dogs, are my best friends, and it automatically shifts everything. Okay. So,
oh, yeah.
All right. So,
nature.
Yeah, absolutely. And then especially when it's so beautiful, the birds are so loud, and the crickets are now out, and they're so loud.
They are. Yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness. All right, so let's talk a little bit about, we talked about the trauma, we are going to be talking about gifts in the process that we're going to be doing, but like, I'm still, like, how can we connect to the gifts that our ancestors had and relate it to now? Like you said earlier, use those gifts, etc., but also the spin with the new earth, right? So with abundance, it's about, the collective, peace, prosperity, all that wonderful stuff. Or is there something I'm missing?
No, it's you choose it. Choosing it changes everything. That's how we create in the new earth, because we're often, we're in the 3D and we do our inner work. We go down that rabbit hole and we clear ourselves and we feel so much better and relaxed. And it's like, oh, okay, I got that. But then often we stop, and that's it, because we feel better. But that's why we will stay stuck. We continue, because that's created a space. We're energy beings. So now you feel better because you've created that stuck energy. But that's created a space within you. That is the moment you take it one step further and you choose the emotional, energetic space of the new earth. So if that's happiness, if it's peace, if it's gratitude, in other words, space has been created within you. Just think of it as space. You want to fill that up. So choose it. That's the step that I think many of us are missing, is we don't actually choose, because we all know the space of the 3D. That's, anger, fear, guilt, shame, punishment, all of that. We're familiar with that. We've, been born into it. Many generations have. But the 5D, the new earth, is a space as well. We're actively co-creating. We talked about it for a lot of years. But December 21st, 2020, we had the shift into the age of Aquarius. So we're actively creating in that space now. So choose it. Choosing it sends an intentional frequency out to the universe, out to source, up to the angelic universe. They hear that. They don't hear your words or what you're doing. They hear your frequency. When you choose it, you choose a frequency that is heard by non-physical light beings. And you receive that back. But because I know, so people will do that once or twice, and then it does, say it doesn't work. And it's easy to, yes, we can say that it doesn't work because we expect it. We're so used to instant gratification in this world. But think you've been living in the matrix for, the 3D, the density, you grew up in that. That's like a foundation, emotional foundation that you walk upon. That's what you've created your life on. You want to do that over and over and over again. Your choice can change everything, but you've got to keep choosing that over and over again. So the next time you're doing your inner work, go just a step further and choose. And even if you have to put, sticky notes around and just remind yourself, choose the space of the new earth, it's emotional space, which is happiness, gratitude, appreciation, inspiration, creativity. If you're feeling creative, that's an energy and emotion, a space of the new earth. So anything like that. So that, yeah, just take it a step further and do that. And we'll do the process where we go back to, it's just go, basically, if you want to do it real quickly, you just ask your ancestors for, you know, any gifts. And again, you choose it. If you want peace, if peace is important to you, if happiness, if, you know, feeling a lot of gratitude in your life. I mean, that's a huge creative energy. You just, you can ask your ancestors for it. Again, it's about trusting source, and then create that new earth. It can be a really simple process as long as you trust source.
Right. Got it. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Do you want to take some questions?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So, so Laura C in the chat, she said she was in a car accident Sunday afternoon. I'm so sorry. Reactivated head trauma, slight concussion. Great grandmother was murdered by spouse, hit over the head. So what's the question exactly? Is this generational trauma? Is that what you're asking?
Let's see, where is this? Where, okay, what I was like, oh, car, okay, got to. Oh, geez. Well, car accident, being in a car accident is shock. So when you're in a car accident, because you're driving along, you're relaxed, you're thinking about something, and all of a sudden, you know, you're slammed from the side or front, you know, head on, however it is. So it shocks. It's about it's about the universe trying to get your attention in a big way. And reactivated head trauma, slight concussion. Okay, so yes, so this is a part of you wanting to wake up and remember. That's what I'm getting anyways. The head trauma, the slight concussion. I'm getting the great grandmother was something different, but this is something you're trying to remember. It's almost that you're trying to reactivate something. But okay, so you're stuck in some kind of a loop here where you're reactivating trauma. So any ways in which you feel the need to reactivate trauma in order to, yeah, there's a big, yeah, there's a tension coming up here. And this car accident was about, okay, so let's bring some gentleness in here, because see, you're trying to break through something and move forward, but you're doing it from a state of, I can feel the tension here. It's just like a stuck, harsh tension. And so it's really important. This was Laura. Yeah, really important to have compassion for yourself. Like that can, so basically you've got a choice right now. You can stay stuck in tension and learn your lessons through harshness like you did, or start choosing compassion for yourself. So what you want to do, actively do, is bring in that gentle, nurturing energy. Yeah, there's, okay, so when we bring in that gentle, nurturing energy, there's anger coming up. So let's just witness this anger. So all the ways you don't feel deserving and worthy of gentleness, kindness, compassion, understanding. So yeah, it's a really deep wound. And yeah, this can be generational, in that your grandmother specifically, it's not a specific connection, but what you're used to is harshness, suffering, abuse, trauma. And there you go. So all the ways you don't feel worthy of compassion and understanding, of being heard, witnessed, accepted, just honor that space. There you go. Okay, so you might want to do some inner child work, really connect with yourself, connect with your inner child, and give that child within you a voice. That child needs to be heard, desires to be heard, wants to be heard. Finding your voice will be really important. There you go. Thank you.
Awesome, Laura. How's that?
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. 1 second. We're gonna go to Destiny. I'm gonna, yeah, go ahead. Destiny, you want to unmute yourself?
Thank you, Laura.
Hey, Destiny.
Hi. Oh, it's so good to have you on here, Joy. Wow, I'm dealing with some intergalactic aspects of me that are really giving me Whew, giving me a lot. And I feel like a pain in my neck, and there's issues in my neck and my hips.
You said you're dealing with intergalactic issues that are really, you said
Intergalactic
hitting.
like an aspect of me that's intergalactic.
Okay. I keep getting anger coming up. And you said it's affecting you physically?
There were days where I thought I was going to die. It was that bad.
Okay. Yeah, I keep getting anger here. Anger, and you're on edge. You're so a lot of hypervigilance. Yeah, were you hypervigilant as a child, or are you familiar with that? What I mean by hypervigilance, like always on edge, you're always looking for the fear. You're looking for the danger, like where's the danger coming from? You're expecting it to come from anywhere, and yeah, so you don't, yeah, you don't really feel safe. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? Do you know what it feels like to feel safe? Just relaxed and at ease and safe?
I haven't felt that way in over 5 years.
Okay, but you do have that memory of feeling safe? So you know what it feels like? Do you have that memory? Kind of, okay. So let's, for everybody here, just breathe, just take as much as you feel safe, do you relax, just allow that life force energy to fill you up. There you go. And we're going to ask Source, with your permission, and Archangel Raphael, Archangel of Healing, to download within you and to awaken within you the feeling of being safe. Okay, so as soon as we said that, anger came in, and the anger is what it's like you're fighting being safe. So all the ways you're fighting being safe, because you feel like if you let yourself relax and feel calm, peaceful, just safe, like gentle inside, that almost okay, some trauma came up there. When I said gentle inside, trauma came up, and you go into this intense fear. Yeah, I can see that. There you go. So let's just witness that. There you go. This is a really, really big fear for you, whatever's going on here. But when we go into that fear, as you, like, I know it, it's not easy going through it. You're in a safe place, but as we go into that fear, you're safe. Just notice that. We want your mind right now to notice that you're safe. You're sitting there, we're having a chat. Nothing bad is happening. There you go. Just notice that you're safe. There you go. Okay,
It's
so
right
mind.
Here. There's something right here.
Okay. So mind, all the ways so that looks like you're, okay, so that's your stomach there. It's your third solar plexus. So any ways in which you're in battle with these, any ways in which you're in battle with other parts of yourself, entities, any ways in which you're feeling helpless, powerless, and you feel like you're being overpowered and you have no strength. Okay, Archangel Michael, come on, help everybody here, help Destiny, support Destiny. With your permission, Destiny, we're going to ask Archangel Michael to fill you full of divine courage, divine strength. Any permission, any consent you have ever given to any dark energies, entities, other mean aspects of yourself, anywhere in the universe, we revoke permission and consent now. Shokabasawa laka shoko kobasa shokabasawa laka aso shokabasawa laka takato kabashawa laka soko kowalasa shokabasawa laka awalaka showalasa. Peace be with you. Shokabasa awalaka shokabasawa laka shoko showalasa. Awaken to happiness, awaken to peace, awaken to calmness. And we're going to ask your nervous system, and this is for everybody here, with your permission, for calmness and peace, to embrace your nervous system. Embrace your nervous system there. There you go, so that you know you're safe. Shokobasha awalaka shoko babaka awalaka shoko kobasa awalaka awalasa shokobasa awalaka shoko kowalasa. Let's create space for the child, the inner child, to feel safe. to know that they're safe. There you go. And let's align all parts of yourself, all aspects of yourself, any parts of yourself in any time or space, any lifetime, dimension, timeline that has not been supportive or helpful. Release now. You do not give any permission for that part of you to come into this space now. Just release. Just release. There you go. You're safe. There you go. There. Take a deep breath in. Let that go. And ground yourself. Right now, just put your attention on the bottom of your feet. Open up your feet chakras and ground. Just ground into that. Let yourself connect to the earth. Yeah, let yourself connect to the earth.
My feet hurt. Like I don't feel like I can.
Just keep grounding. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Imagining it.
Yeah, keep imagining it during the show, and just let your see doors at the bottom of your feet and handles, and just ask you can, or you can ask God or source or whoever to open the handles, and just let the doors open and let the energy flow through. And anybody who doesn't want energy flowing into the earth, because it's a density, the earth has its own consciousness and will release any density and let it, transform it into higher frequency. So it's okay to release into the earth. There you go. There, I just felt your feet chakras open up their destiny. Good, thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Joy.
Okay,
Ooh.
thank you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Good. Thank you, Destiny.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
I think
Lara.
there was some pretty deep fear there. So I think we supported a lot of people there.
All right. Pat, how are you doing today? Pat Siebert.
Very well, thank you. Wanted to express much gratitude and appreciation for
Hey, Pat.
Alara and Joy today for this wonderful opportunity. And who couldn't use much more joy these days? Thanks.
Right?
Thanks.
Absolutely. So what's going on, Pat?
As people know here, been dealing with migraine headaches on the right side, a lot of stuckness in the solar plex chakra due to childhood trauma, and been working a lot with myself to release a lot of wounded masculine energy and bringing in divine feminine energy to rectify some of it, but still a lot of stuckness in the solar plexus, and getting the vibe that it could be generational and or past lives trauma.
Okay, yeah, great, thank you. So even before you mentioned the patriarchal masculinity, I got the conflict and the migraines have to do with, and then the solar plexus has to do with power struggle between the patriarchal masculinity and divine masculinity. See, what you're doing is you're bringing in divine feminine, but there's still a part of you that sees, because it's what we were taught in the Matrix, is the feminine is weak. So you're going from a patriarchal masculinity, which is about, aggressiveness and bullying and, all the things we were taught in that domination, to what even though you want to embrace divine femininity, there's still you're under the understanding that it's weak. So you're moving into a weakened state. Yet what you're wanting to do is activate your solar plexus. So you're in power struggle. And that's creating a conflict within you. Yeah, I can feel that conflict. And there's a tension in actually, I'm getting it in your chest. So it's preventing you from opening your heart. There you go. Okay. So so is your heart release there? I just felt a tension release from your heart, Pat. Shame came up. And the shame is, and this is where the conflict comes in, and then you start getting migraines because you get this conflict within you. And the shame is you want to create the new earth, move into this 5D, learn how to be that. What you're actually wanting to embrace is the divine masculine. And so that's my suggestion, is really start to look into the divine masculine and what the divine masculine, that's grounding, that's empowering, centering. It's, you know, very, very supportive, but it's also very freeing and expansive in that. And there you go. Okay, there's some balance, there's some grounding energy. So you're starting to feel that, you're starting to feel that strength, but then shame keeps coming up. So let's go into the shame, because that came up when you open your heart as well. So this, yeah, you're definitely correct. This is generational, and this is that what we were taught in the matrix is all about feminine is weak and masculine is, you know, aggressive, controlling, dominant. And that's right there. That's where you're stuck. So let's, for everybody, because we've been taught this for thousands of years, that often affects relationships, especially marriage, because that marriage contract is full of patriarchal agreements and contracts and such. So all the ways you were taught okay, yeah, there's a lot of anger coming in. Yes, anger, we see you. No, you're not going to overpower us. It's time for you to leave. Be gone. There you go. So we're going to ask Source to, you already know, so that you're aware of the roles of masculine and feminine in the 3D. Yeah, there you go. You just felt it. Now we're going to ask Source to show you what it feels like to be a balance of divine masculine and divine feminine. Okay, so we're going to ask your mind to relax, because your mind right away went, I don't know what that is. That's okay. You don't have to know. Just trust in Source, universe, whatever, God, whatever word you want to use, to show you what it feels like to be a balance. Just imagine it. There you go. Be a balance of divine masculine and divine feminine. Let that balance within you. There you go. There. Creativity just awakened there. Very creative. Okay. Any shame around being creative, feeling creative? It's a really powerful energy. Any shame around creativity, or that it's like a weak feminine thing to do? Let's go ahead and let go of that. So shokabasa walaka shoko kobasa shokabasa walaka shoko kobalasa sho walasa walaka shoko kobasa. There's some relaxation and ease. Know, Pat, that anytime you get migraines, breathe, bring yourself back to center, balance, ground, and know that's a conflict you're going through. Or if you feel, usually there's a bit of a signal before a migraine comes on, just bring yourself back to a place of peace and relaxation and ground, and ask for balance. That's what you're looking for. Ask for a balance, connect to Source, or just say to Source, you know, balance me between divine masculine and divine feminine. And then anything that's preventing me from being in that balance of divine masculine and feminine, release now. Just release now. Because shame will come in. The other thing that comes in, and it often does come in when we're doing this work, is anger. Because anger can be a very harsh energy and cause us to go into fear, or we can often use anger to protect us. We believe it's protecting us from moving forward. Because what feels safe is the 3D. That's what we're familiar with. That's what our ancestors, our parents, our family unit and such, they're generally familiar with. And so that's what feels safe. So, but yeah, that's what you're looking for, is a balance of divine masculine and feminine. So what you want to move into, when you're doing any inner work, or if you're on the internet searching, and that is really search for an understanding of what is divine masculine and what is divine feminine. So any ways in which you've been seeing, like believing that the divine feminine is weak, even though you know it's not, there's still that, what's there is a belief. So let's just let go of that, because the divine feminine is creative, it's expressive, it's expansive and freeing, it's flowing. There you go. There. And then the divine masculine with that, which is grounding, empowering, which is supportive, very supportive. Those two make a really beautiful balance. There you go. You just felt that. I just felt the back of your solar plexus open up. There you go. So just allow that divine power to fill you up. Divine power and divine strength. There you go. There, take a deep breath in. Let that go. Great. Thank you for that.
Beautiful. Thanks, Joy.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Pat. There was so much energy moving and shifting during that. I mean, I was
Yeah, that
yawning
was
like
powerful.
crazy.
Huh?
I don't know if you all saw me yawning like crazy. It's like, oh my God, I can't stop. You know, it's like, there's a lot of movement. I'm still yawning. So this, God,
Releasing a lot of energy there.
yeah, absolutely. Homa, you want to unmute yourself, Homa?
Yes, hello everybody. Hello.
Hi,
Thank you
Homa.
for thank you, Joey and Alora, for this opportunity.
Mhm.
So I wanted to ask about like the receiving that Joy talked about it earlier, and I think yes, that's very true. That's very much about like self-worth. Like when I want to get something, like say like I'm looking for a service or somebody wants to give me something, if I'm exchanging that, paying for that exchange or something, like giving something and then receiving, that's generally okay. But if somebody is giving that service or for example, the car that they don't want, or they're giving it out of just kindness, I will just play huge games, not to myself, not the other person, not to receive it. I have a big issues with receiving things, and specifically if I'm not paying for that or exchanging anything.
Okay. And so you're aware of that. So what's your
Yes,
question?
very much.
See that. So what's your question? So you're aware of that you block receiving. What's your question, or what do you need? Yeah. Just
yeah,
go a
how
little
can you
further with
help?
that.
Like what's that? Like how can you help with that? And yeah, the blockage and everything.
Well, since Homa, you already know what the issue is, and you already know you're blocking it. So the next time that happens, accept with gratitude. That's accept with gratitude. See the reason, say if it's a service, you will pay for it and receive it, is it's a value exchange. So what you're believing is, well, if there's a value exchange, if somebody gives me something, I have to give them something of equal value. It might be like a lot of people like to give, but if somebody won't receive it, they can't give. So you're denying them the joy of giving. And now if somebody is giving you something and you know there's conditions, or they're giving it from a place of manipulation, you feel that, you know that, you're intuitive. So then you just, if there's a secondary, reason they're giving it to you, and you can say no. But if you know somebody's giving you something with good intentions and are wanting to support you, see what you're believing is the value exchange has to be between you and the other person. But it can also be, this is, pay it forward. So you receive with gratitude, because the emotional state you're in is in the next moment, you're going to move forward from that emotional state. So receive with gratitude and appreciation. And then you can share that, you can pay it forward. And then it might not be, if you receive, say, whatever it is, you receive a car or something like that, it might be something else. It might be your time, but you're paying it forward. But I just got, as I'm talking here, you're believing that receiving, and it does for many people, if I receive, that creates obligation. So all the ways you believe that if you receive, that creates obligation, and then you either have to give something of equal value or even more value back to that other person, or it's almost like a density or a threat hanging over your head. There you go. So let's witness that, let go of that. There you go. Okay, there's some shame coming up. So all the ways you believe that receiving, if you receive, that means you're somehow lacking or you're not good enough.
Yes.
What you're saying is that if I receive, then like if I had enough, and if I was enough in the first place, and I was able to create enough, then I wouldn't need from anybody else. So the fact that I have to receive from somebody else means that, yeah, I'm not enough. I haven't, yeah. So let's release that one. So any ways in which you believe that if you receive from somebody else, that means you're somehow, it's almost like to your mind, your conditioning, that's proof that you're lacking or not good enough. There you go. So let's release that. There's a little bit of shame there, just a little bit, not too much. We'll just go into that shame. That's the child within you. So let's bless the child. And let's create space for you, all parts of you, your adult, your child, all ages, to receive and to know that it's okay to receive, and that receiving doesn't have to come with obligation, and receiving doesn't mean you're not, you're good, not good enough or lacking in some way. Receiving again. So let's shift that from receiving meaning that I'm lacking to receiving means I'm in the flow of energy. I am creating in the flow of energy. And the more I receive and the more I have, the more I can pay it forward and make a difference in this world. There you go. Okay, so you're used to people receiving. So this is be more from a point of greed. So people receiving and then hoarding onto it. And what you want to do is receive and pay it forward, but it doesn't have to be the same way. Like if you receive money, you can pay it forward through time, or through if you're a writer, writing something inspiring and sharing that. Like you decide, it's all energy. So you decide how you're going to share that and pay it forward. Pay it forward. Of course, it depends with the intent it's done. Some people can, turn it around and manipulate it, but pay it forward can be a very 5D New Earth creation way of being. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. When
So,
I
yeah. Yeah, so just allow yourself to receive and just be conscious of the energy you're receiving it in, and then give yourself the space to pay it forward. Okay.
Yeah. When it comes to receiving, my whole body goes to the shake. It's just like so much resistance for that, specifically on my near my abdomen. It's like
Okay.
like very much know about that.
So you're aware of that. So see,
Yes.
you've got the awareness around it. So it's definitely you're a long way there already. So choose if you're receiving something, and obviously it comes with a lot of trauma, and that you're aware of that. So ask source to support you to receive through a place of grace, through gratitude. I mean, you can't, if you're in trauma and you say, let's say you're receiving something and you're in trauma and I can't receive this. Just say to yourself over and over again, I receive with gratitude, I receive with gratitude, I receive with gratitude, I receive with gratitude. I receive with appreciation, I receive with appreciation. You can't be in trauma and receive with appreciation at the same time. So you're already aware of it. So choose something differently, choose something greater. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, Layla, go ahead.
Hi.
Hi, Layla.
I gotta say, every single person that you've worked with has been perfect, and thank you for doing this work for all of us.
Okay.
So I hope what I ask about is going to help everyone too. I'm sure it will. For some reason, the tip of my tailbone has been so sore for like 6 months that it hurts to sit at times, and I'm wondering what you see about that one.
You said the tip of your tailbone been sore for about 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Did anything happen around that time or even before that? Or it just came out of the blue as far as you knew?
As far as I know, it came out of the blue, but I do have a lot of things coming into the body out of the blue in these times.
Okay. Yeah, there's I can feel a tightening around all those muscles there. So you're trying to tighten. You're resisting something. What is that? I'm not sure. Are you, is it sore when you're lying down, when you're sitting, when you're walking, or?
It's the walking, it's fine when I walk. When I sit, and even when I lay flat, I can feel that it's tender and sore. And it's the
Okay.
bone. It's the
Right, yeah. the
tailbone.
Okay. Okay, so there's some anger here. So we're going to the emotional reason for it. So there's anger. The anger tightening all the muscles around there and just, yeah. So it's tightening up around the bone, and then the bone gets sore. And
Okay.
you're wanting to give somebody the finger.
Really? Is
Oh,
it
that's
God?
funny.
Is it God?
No, there's somebody in your life, there's some people or people in your life you're wanting, you may or may not be aware of them, but you're wanting to give them the finger. It may even be the Matrix or the 3D, but that's kind of funny. I've never seen that come in before. So whoever it is that is annoying you, that's making you angry, that you're wanting to just, back off and leave you alone. Yeah, just let that go. Okay. So some grief came up there. So whatever that is, that could have even been a group of dark energies or even dark entities. You said everything kind of affects you. That could very well have been it, or even, government organizations or what's going on in the world. Like you're just kind of annoyed, put it that way. And there you go. So
Even some spiritual people, I'm like, how can you be doing that when you're saying this?
Yeah, and that's not them though. It's more that you want to give the finger to. It's more, feels almost like it's dark energies and the those that are keeping the world stuck in the 3D.
Okay.
There you go. The old systems and that they're all dissolving in that.
Yeah.
So that's where you want to move into trust. So the next time if you feel any pain in that area, just say, I trust that it's all dissolving as it's, supposed to. I trust that everything is dissolving. See, we see things and we hear things, and, the news all has, as you know, all that news, and independent too. It's all got a narrative, and there you go. But there's so many things going on behind the scenes, with non-physical light beings on world and off world. Just trust that we're being taken care of. It doesn't mean you just become, you don't care or anything like that. It's just you trust and you live your best life ever, and you create your best life ever from that place. Yes, you're going to go into fear or anxiety or anger, maybe body pain, and you move into trust again and know that you're being taken care of. There you go. And all those that you want to give the finger to, see, when you're angry at them, so you're actually giving them energy. And
I know.
So, yeah, so just let them go. They're gonna, they're karma, they'll come back, karma will do their thing, do its thing. There you go.
Now, what about the trust? Because I actually wrote in the chat up above that I recently did a meditation and I found out that what I believe trust is giving my power away.
That's because you're trusting others. Yeah, when you move into trust, because what you're believing somebody else is right. So you're giving your power away to trust somebody else. So any ways in which you are giving your power away and trusting others, or if you're getting an intuitive hit and you're like, you know what, I think this person is right. Ask yourself, is this coming from my higher self or my false self? Some people call it the false self or lower self, false self, limiting beliefs, what we grew up in our conditioned self. Just ask yourself, is this coming from my higher self? And sit with that. And notice if it feels light or heavy. Because often we'll want to, see, we trust people when we grew up in an emotional field of often, trauma, abuse, there's grief, there's disappointment, there's anger, there's guilt, there's shame. That's familiar. What's familiar is comfortable. That's your comfort zone. In moments of stress, we will default to what's familiar. We'll default to our comfort zone. So if you're trying to figure something out, whether it's take a course or a program or go this direction or believe this person, and you're not sure, what's the best decision, and you're trying to figure out, that's a moment of stress. Now, if you feel that person has the same emotional field as you grew up in, and they've got the same wounds in that, or if there's any elements of manipulation or anything there, and that will feel familiar. And often we trust those that feel familiar, but necessarily don't have our dreams and our desires and our highest and greatest good at heart. And so really just pay attention to, does it feel familiar, and am I trusting them from that place? Or is this really for my highest and greatest good? Is this really going to support me in moving into creating the new work? And really sit with that. And sometimes, you might get the hit that, you know what, it feels right, but on one hand, but on another hand, like this, it isn't really going to help me create the new earth and the life that I desire and such. And there might be grief, because they might be a really good person, or the course or this or that, or whatever the action you're thinking of taking but it's just not right for you. Doesn't mean they're bad. So let's let go of that one. Doesn't mean they're bad or what they're offering is bad. It means it's not necessarily going to support you in moving forward in the direction you want to go in. Trust yourself. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you feel so much stronger, Layla. Wow, big difference. I can feel that strength in you. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, good.
Great,
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Layla.
Thank you.
All right.
Shit, Layla seems so much happier there then. I could just see our energy was so brighter.
Much lighter for sure.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right, I want to go to Evie because I know Evie was having a hard time figuring out how to write in the raise her hand. So Evie, you want to, can you unmute yourself?
Hi, Evie.
No, we're back at Layla.
Unmute.
There
Hi.
you go.
Oh,
There
good.
you go.
Yeah.
Hi, Evie.
So, hi, Joy. Hi, Laura. Did you see my message? Did you see what I wrote in the
In
chat?
the chat?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many messages in the chat. I believe
Yeah.
I have an event and I know I am qualified. How can I step into it with confidence? What's the past experience that's involved or present experience? So do you think that some sort of generational trauma is stopping you from having that experience?
Yeah, I think there's something way back. So I feel like when I get a chance to do it, to express and to feel confident, it's just there is something coming up, and it's just hard to understand what it is. And then later on, I'm like, I'm back to normal and everything is fine. And it's just like, what is this? It's just a phenomenon. It's just like,
What do you mean,
unbelievable.
Evie? I believe I have an event. I don't know. Maybe Alara knows, familiar with this, but I'm not
Yeah,
familiar with what you're.
it's something coming up. Like, I think I'm qualified for it. And
What's
I
the
did.
event though? I don't. That's where.
Yeah, it's kind of like a job or something. Or
Okay, so what you're
project or
saying is
something.
you've got whether a job interview or speaking or something like that, and you know you're
Yeah.
qualified, but
A
you're,
project, yeah.
there's maybe fear or intimidation or something there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like I might not do the best I can, and I know I can. I know it's like mine, but I don't know how to accept it,
Okay.
to receive it.
So do you actually step into whatever the event is, or if it's a job interview or something, do you actually?
Not yet. I'm waiting for the offer.
Okay. Okay, so let's go into this a little bit. So yes, there's going to be fear. So any part of you that believes there shouldn't be fear, it's the more fear you have, the more courage you have. So we're going to ask Source to awaken the courage within you. Okay, so as the courage was activated, there's anger coming up. So all the ways when courage is awakened, anger is awakened, and then you get confused about basically which is which. You just, instead of feeling courageous and brave and moving through that fear, you just feel angry. There you go. Yeah, just activate, just touching that, going into that created a release there. There's some confusion here in your field. So your energy is, your consciousness is confused. Okay, this is confusion about what direction you want to move forward in. So you mentioned a job, but it doesn't feel like you want to have a job. You want to go into something else, or maybe creating something else. And yeah, when I mentioned the job, you got a lot of anger came up. And so it feels like there's a direction you want to go in, Evie, that you're effectively blocking out because it's going to open everything up for you. But you're wanting to expand and move in some kind of a direction. Maybe you want to move forward with your healing gifts or something like that. Oh yeah, when I said that, yeah, there's something there. You're wanting to move forward.
That's that part of it, yes.
Yeah, you're wanting to move forward with your healing gifts, but you feel, again, you mentioned a job interview, or you haven't received the offer yet. But I'm not getting anything there. Like there's anger there. You don't even want to go there. And yeah, so maybe now I don't know if you're avoiding moving into your healing gifts and starting, the business because of fear, or because you actually need a job and need money. And yes, if you need money, well, we all need a job. We need money we don't all need a job. Delete that one. But we need money in this world. But your soul also knew that before you ever came down, before you ever, chose the fetus that you would come into in the human body. Your soul knew that you would need money to survive and thrive in this earth. There you go. So, and this almost feels like it might be the first time you've ever really admitted, at least beyond yourself, or that you really are ready to start your healing business, your healing practice, because I can feel a relief there. There you go. Yeah, that's where the confusion was in your energy field. That's what you really want to focus on. See, if you need the money and you need to get a job, go and get a job. And if you get a job offer and such, yeah, that's part of living this human life. But start to focus on your healing business. And if you've already got a healing business, you're already getting, paid clients, then focus on that, like allow that to expand. So for anybody who's got anything you want to create, whether it's healing business, or you want to take a course or go back to school, or anything like that, create something new. There you go. Let's create expansion, just expansion in that. Okay, so interesting, as we create expansion, we reach a wall, and the wall is the resistance to receiving. So you can expand so far, and there's happiness as you see, as you allow yourself to expand. There you go. And then, so let's open up the space for receiving. All the ways you're resistant to receiving, let's witness those. Any ways in which you believe receiving either makes you wrong, is a signal that you're lacking, or creates obligation and a debt. Any ways in which you receive and that creates some kind of a debt within you. So then you go into more lack and limitation around that. There you go. It feels like you said you went for a job interview, but you haven't received the offer yet. You could be receiving that offer. But if you do want this job, if you open up to that, the fear is, it's okay to have fear. It's, you want to move, you're moving past it. It's when the fear stops you. If the fear stops you, then tap into your courage. I was this morning before the show again, I was like, why do I do this? My thing was to be invisible. I never wanted to be out here and be seen and heard. But when my desire to inspire others and support others is greater than my fear, there you go. That made a difference there. So when you know your why, that will support you in moving past your fear, and you're not going to do it. So let's let go of the need to do it perfectly. Because I don't know how many shows I've been on, and afterwards I'm like, why didn't I say this or do that? Or, you know, I'll think of something I said, and so it's okay to not do it perfectly, and it's okay to have fear. But you tap into your courage, you take action anyways. So just let yourself expand, let your energy field expand, let your consciousness expand, and open up to receiving, It's okay to receive. Breathe. It's okay to receive. Receiving and giving. Just think of it as a value exchange. And even if you don't, any ways in which you believe that creates a debt, know that you can always pay it forward. There you go. There. Take a deep breath in. Good. Your heart just opened up. I just felt your physical heart release the tension and open up there. Awesome. Great. Thank you for that. I don't know if I specifically answered your question, but it seems like we went in a lot of different directions with that one. Yeah.
Yeah. How's that, Evie? Better? Good?
I could feel why there was so much confusion around, because it's just like the fear of losing it. If I get it, I'll lose it. If I get it, everybody will be angry. And if they're angry, I go back in that losing mode and this fearful mode, and I shut down. And I wanted
So we just cleared all that.
Yeah, so that's what that was where the confusion was. If I get it, can I hold it? So
yes, you can if you choose to.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alara, for holding out for me, holding that space. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Joy.
Okay,
Thanks so much. Okay.
You know, and the thing is, I just want to share really quickly. The thing is, we all have a little bit of fear about stepping out of our comfort zone, right?
Mhm.
Like Joy said, she always wanted to be not in the spotlight and whatever, right? I was also very shy growing up. I mean, I used to stutter. I would never be raising my hand. I would never be talking at all, ever. And what am I doing now? I talk every single day.
Yeah, and you do the video show, so you're right up there, yeah.
All the time. You know, it's like,
Absolutely, yeah.
and then when I start talking, sometimes I can't stop. So it's like, but it was a push. I had to push myself. You know, it's like,
Mhm.
okay, yes, I'm nervous. Yes, I'm gonna mess up. Yes, oh God, I hope I don't mess up too badly. But you know, yes, I'm just gonna show up and I'm gonna just hope and pray and I'm gonna do my best. Right.
And that's giving yourself permission to mess up is a big one, because when we think, you know, I'm a recovering perfectionist, when we think we have to do it perfect, and especially when you're in the moment, something like this, and you're talking, you can't do it perfectly. So then you just have to, you know what, that's before I go on a show. I work with clients. I ask source to make sure I come from a place of love and such. So I put that intention out there before I ever get started. And because I can't monitor every word I'm going to say.
No, of course not. And you know, like you said, it's like, what is your why? So you know, for me, it's about, you know, I'm here to inspire and serve. And so, you know, I know the universe has my back, so I'm not going to screw up too badly or mess up too badly, right? But that's where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from a place of ego or I want to share this. Or I don't even know what that is. Like, no, whatever I say, you know, whatever I do is coming from a place of service. How can I serve? God, show me the way. That's my daily prayer. That's what I say every single day. You know, how can I serve? God, show me the way. Show me how. All right. I was gonna say something earlier and I forgot.
Laura?
Yeah. Hey, Sarah. Sarah.
Hi, may I say something real quick?
Sure.
Before my kids have their bar and bat mitzvah ceremonies, I always tell them that there has to be a mistake, that a fine Persian rug always has one color that's in the wrong place, because it kind of creates some, you know, additional magic. So I say, so if you don't make a mistake, I'll have to make a mistake. So somebody's got to make mistakes. Don't worry about it. And also in the Torah, it got put on computer many years ago, and all these in columns of 49, which is a special number, and all these predictions about things that were going to happen in the next 2,000 years after it was put on parchment came up, and the names of the concentration camps and so much stuff. But there are mistakes in the Torah, and there's one Jewish group, the Karaites, who corrected all the mistakes. And when you put their Torah on computer, all the codes and all the prophecies fall away. There is some kind of magic in the universe that is created by things we think are mistakes. We just don't get it, but it's the key to a lock.
Beautiful. Absolutely. There are no mistakes, basically, is what we're saying. Those things that we think are mistakes are, magical synchronicities, sometimes just magic happening in the universe for somebody else, usually.
Absolutely.
So thank you. So we have lots of questions still, people with their hand raised, questions in the chat. I know I missed so many, but I just, I want to take a moment, Joy, and just talk about the packages first, and then I want to make sure we do our process, and then after that, if we can, see where we're at time-wise as well. Okay. So
sure.
I mean, this has been going so fast, it's like everything is just happening so fast. It's like, look at the time. I gotta keep track. So I'm just, hold on one second, guys. I'm just gonna put the link in the chat first. I don't know why this computer does not do copy paste. It's old.
Yeah, it's much easier when it does copy paste.
It's 2014 this Mac is from, so it's like, it's old. Okay, so one second. So that's the link, alara.at/show/joy5. And I am going to share my screen in just 1 second. So I've given up trying to figure out what is going on with my voice when I do these calls or any calls. It's like, it is what it is. But there is something I want to ask everybody near the end, so please do not let me forget. Okay, it's something important. It's important for me. That's all right. So this is okay. So Joy has 3 packages, A, B, and C. It's all about healing generational trauma and pain, break the patterns of your past, and live a life of freedom. So package A has 4 parts. So I'm going to let you run through it, Joy.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot here in package A. But the biggest, so you've got the audios here. The first part 1 is clearing the chakras and the meridians. This is really, it's really good for your health and also your emotional balance. So we're clearing for financial abundance, health, getting the organs. This was a little bit different. I've had some good feedback on this one, clearing the organs. And so really we went into the heart, the lungs, all of them. Then the chakras and the meridians. I've had some really good feedback on these, and people saying it's helped their health as well. The second part, these ancestral clearing ones, they're audios you're getting for ancestral clearing. So you go back and you clear financial abundance, for health and communication. So all about relationships. And these can be used for anything. So in the intro, I give you an idea of how to use them. And you can use them for any issue multiple times, and they can be used. You just basically put out to the source what the issue is and let it play, and that's it. Then parental healing in part 3, and I'd been asked to several times to do these. I hadn't done them for years. So clearing mother issues, father issues, and because we're all part of the collective consciousness, we can clear, your mother, my mother, whoever it is. Yeah, there's some throat chakra stuff coming up here. There you go. Because you mentioned that, Alara, something. Yeah, I felt that earlier too, so I can really feel that now. So let's just clear some throat issue, throat chakra for everybody there. Okay, there you go. Okay, so and then mind, body, spirit, freedom. So, and the more you allow yourself to be in that space of freedom, that also opens you up to receiving as well. and then a sleeping meditation with light language. So it's mostly light language. And I've had some good feedback on this one as well. Some people say they use it all night long, have it playing. And then in between, it's like affirmations, but these ones will actually speak them. And so you can just keep that playing all night long. That's your audio program. And now part 4, this starts on Monday, actually. So we're about to go into this. This is 33 days of 30 minutes a day energy healing. That's just one part. That's 33 days, starts on Monday. And so you're getting 30 minutes a day of energy healing plus messages from spirit. So every Monday and Thursday, I channel a message from spirit, send that out to you. You immediately receive an 18-minute ancestral activation. And this is a little bit like the process we'll be doing today, but much longer. And so you're going back and you're retrieving something that you want to bring into the new earth. So you can listen to this one as many times as you want. Plus, there's 2 2-hour calls that are actually they're 2 hours with a meditation at the end. And I take both phone callers and written calls, so a lot like today, but it's just full of clearing. I mean, we do a lot of clearing in this one. Plus, in this one, I'm also, so you've got the 30 minutes of energy healing every day for 33 days. Plus, I'm doing the Lakshmi prosperity chant. I'm going to separate time. So this is separate. And I'm going to bring everybody into that. It takes me about 15 minutes, chanted 108 times. So you'll be receiving about 45 minutes a day for 33 days. And so that's starting Monday. That's so powerful. And so that's package A. Now you can decide the next 2 packages. Package B is a remote freedom clearing. So you send me your picture and whatever issue you want cleared. It's about 25 minutes. And because there's no story, I'm just working with your picture and the energy, we really quickly get to the core. And it can be about relationships, money, anything like that. And had a lot of people with money issues, a lot of success after that. Just it's amazing how deep you can go with when there's no story. You go right into the energy because energy doesn't lie. Now, if you like something more interactive and you like to share as it comes up, then package C is you get the first part, package A, plus a 45-minute phone session. And that's package C. So a lot of people will prefer that. Plus, when I'm doing this work, like we are now, we are in the 5D, we're in the source energy. And when we're doing a phone session, you are really held, embraced in that energy. And a lot of people like to share as the memories come up, and that they can share. And then we can clear out right on the spot. That's recorded as well. So those are the 3 packages there with the 33-day program starting on Monday.
Awesome. Thank you. And again, these 3 packages for Joy, package A is 97, package B is 127, package C is 147. There are 2 and 3 part payment plans available for all 3. And please do use the 10% gift code TACS10 to take advantage of the 10% gift from me. And I just want to quickly clarify, Joy, package C with the 45-minute personal session. For all of us here in Europe, don't freak out when she says phone. So do you mean it can be Skype or Zoom?
I use instant teleseminars, so
Okay, perfect.
it's audio, but I've talked to people all over the world, Bulgaria, everywhere. As long as you have a strong internet connection, you can either use the web call option or there's phone numbers. They've got about 45, 50 different phone numbers around the world that are local in the area. But yeah, it can be done anywhere in the world, but it's audio, it's not video.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just, because when I see phone session, it's like, what? It's like, I'm gonna call on my phone. So, but yes, so.
Oh no, just the web call option, people like, I've had.
I love that. I used to do that all the time before. So that's, again, those 3 packages are available at alara.at/show/joy5. So just a few quick questions. If people are listening to the audio program over and over again, is that going to help them?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Because the first time you listen to anything, your unconscious conditioned ego mind is in resistance. because its job is to keep you safe. So it wants to keep everything the same. So just remember, same equals safe. And so you want it. So the first time you're going to be in some resistance. So listen to it as many times as you like. Second time, the energies will be cleared out at a deeper level. And chances are you hear something you didn't hear before. It's also, any of the audios are really good as a space or room clearer as well. So even just play it on silent. And I've done this. I've had clients do this as well. Just they play it on silent at work on loop over and over again. And it was, they said it just changed the whole, they were in the room with a bunch of different co-workers, and they said it was just so much more relaxed. And just playing it on, just, it was just some generic clearing they had from me that was, they played on silent all day long.
Nice. So are the audio programs downloadable? Yes, I think so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Mhm. And if people ask a question during the Q&A calls, can it be about anything, or does it specifically have to be about generational healing?
Oh, no, it can be about anything, anything at all. Yeah, the Q&A calls are, I let the participants decide what they want to ask and have cleared and activated.
And so the 33 days of healing, that's remote healing. It's not like you're not going to get on a call.
Yeah, that's remote healing. So it's just remote healing, but we hold that. That's really powerful energy that's created. And I've had people, get jobs during that time, buy houses, relationships improve, a lot of, epiphanies and that. And then, but we also have the messages from spirit. So that's sent out twice a week. And then the two Q&A calls that are over 2.5 hours each. So that, brings everybody together as well.
So there's a lot in package A. There's a lot. And I have done both the freedom clearing and as well as personal session with Joy. I like both, to be honest. Yeah, I like both, but I've done both, but I like both because I like talking to Joy.
Yeah.
But the first time we did the freedom clearing, and so I was like blown away by how just from, I think I said what the issue was, and the information that came through was so spot on and so like relevant and made total sense. And then of course when we did the personal session, well, we just went on and on and on. So it's like it was more than 45 minutes, but it was like that's okay. But yeah, I received a lot. So both are an option. So just remember, package B includes package A plus the freedom clearing, and package C includes package A plus the personal session. It does not include package B. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. If you have any questions, just let us know. All right. So we want to do the process that you wanted to share with us. So let's do that first, and then we'll see where we're at then after that.
Okay, so
how does that sound to you?
Yeah. And everyone's a little bit different, they're channeled. So first of all, let's bring in some peace, because we've been talking about, the package and that. So let's just bring in some calmness and peace. There you go. And open up your feet chakras and ground. A little bit of resistance to grounding. So we're just going to witness that. Know that you're safe. There you go. Okay, so now there's something you've always wanted. You've always wanted to feel happy, peaceful. Maybe you've said to yourself, I wish it was, could feel kinder to myself or more compassionate. Or maybe you want to have more money, whatever it is, maybe another car, house. It can be something material or it can be emotional. That's okay. If it's material, also include so physical, something you want. Also include some kind of emotional, some kind of emotion you want, new earth emotion, gratitude, something like that. There you go. You can just even ask for, greater gratitude within yourself. So you can really feel that gratitude and experience receiving gratitude and experience sharing gratitude. That is a powerful energy of creation. And now we're going to ask Source. So, and you can do this as many times as you like. So let's just go, let's say it's gratitude. And we're going to ask Source to take you back to that time and space in your ancestral lineage when your ancestor was grounded in whatever you're looking for, gratitude, happiness. Maybe they knew how to make money. Everything they touched turned to gold. And if that's what you're looking for, also include happiness or joyfulness, gratitude. You want to include a 5D emotion there. There you go. Just let yourself feel that. Give yourself permission. Know that you're safe to embody that. Give yourself permission to embody that, knowing that you're safe. Give yourself permission to embody it, knowing that at any time, just like a jacket, you can take that off if you decide you're feeling unsafe. There you go. Okay, so now come forward during your ancestral lineage, and anybody else that wishes to share their gifts with you and you wish to receive them, allow yourself to receive any supportive gifts. It might be happiness, joyfulness. The energy of celebration is coming in. That's awesome. Feeling like celebrating. There you go. Notice the lightness. Notice how you're feeling light and expansive, joyful. In the energy of receiving, asosho koalasa. Give yourself permission to feel good about receiving gifts, blessings, miracles. Asosho walasa, asosho kabasa walaka, shoko koalasa. Now notice where you are right now. There you go. Take a deep breath in. Let that go. Now imagine you're looking forward. And you're looking forward down this path. And this path is open. It's beautiful. There's nature, birds singing. Feel so, there you go. Your whole self relax. You know you're safe in nature. And there's water flowing nearby. The birds are singing. The temperature is just right. And now you have these gifts, blessings from your ancestors that you have embodied. And you feel so good. You feel safe, happy, joyful, free, abundant, expansive. And you're walking down this path. And this path is a portal to the new earth. You don't realize it yet, but it is. Just trust. You're feeling happy, joyful, free, expansive. And as you walk down this path, you walk forward and you walk into this meadow, this beautiful meadow, and you stop and you look around and you go, wow. There's wildflowers, birds singing. You see some animals off in the distance, and you feel happy, joyful. And now as you walk around in this space of the new earth with your gifts, your ancestors have blessed you with, you feel grounded, empowered. And the child within you says, see, we always knew it was possible. Together, we can do this. We can create from this place. And you feel grounded and you have this knowing within you that this is your time. You are ready. You are ready, my friend, to create in the new earth. You are ready to feel abundant. You are ready to feel happy, blessed, full of gratitude, joyful. And you look around and you say to yourself, if only I feel so good right now, so happy and joyful. I just wish I could share this with others. In this moment, you want to connect with others and you're in the new earth and you say, if only I could share this with others. And you look around and for a moment you feel kind of sad because you don't see any other people. But as you look around, your eyes are soft. Your gaze is soft. You feel relaxed and at ease. And because of your soft, gentle, compassionate energy, you start to notice the energy all around you and you realize that There are forms all around you. There's energetic forms. And you become curious and you're like, what are these energetic forms? And you start to look and you wonder and you're curious. And you see these energetic forms take the shape of people. And when you realize there are people walking around in the new earth and you are free to connect, you feel happy, joyful, excited, ready to connect with them. And you walk around and you stop somewhere and you're looking off into the distance and somebody comes up to you and starts talking and you have this amazing conversation and you connect and you exchange information and you feel so happy and grateful knowing that there are other like-minded souls that you can connect with at any time. You have connected with people in the space of the new earth now. So you know the new earth is a space. You can visit anytime. You connect with other people, like-minded, hearts, souls, beings, people who are ready to connect and create from that place. You know it's possible. Your mind has experienced it. Your mind, heart, body, soul has experienced the new earth and connecting with other like-minded people in the new earth. So now you know it's possible. Feel that possibility within you. Feel the knowing that it's possible within you. Let every cell of your body feel that, experience that, ground into that. You take a deep breath in. Let that go. And you look around at the new earth and you go, wow. Yeah, this is my home. This is where I feel at home. I'm ready. And you turn around and you walk down to the path. And just before you start walking down the path, the portal, you turn around, you put your hands in prayer mode, and you give a little bow, and you say to the new earth and all the people there, I will be back. And the people turn around and they look at you and say, oh yeah, we know, we're expecting you. We'll be here when you get back. And you turn around and you walk down the path and you know, yeah, there's things in the 4D, in the third dimension, the matrix, you have to take care of. But now you have the knowing of that space, that 5D, that newer space. You have felt that. You have felt the possibility, the connection with others there. You have felt the radiant joyfulness and gratitude. You know it's real, and you know you can go back and visit it and spend more and more time there anytime you choose to. All you need to do is choose to be in that space. There you go. And now come back to the moment and feel that divine strength, that power within you. Ground into that. Feel how empowered yet free and expansive you feel. Yes, you can feel amazing, grounded, empowered, and be in the 3D. There you go. Feel good. Give yourself permission to feel good. You deserve, you are worthy of feeling good. There you go. So shokabasa wala ka wala sa shoko kobasa. Shokabasa wala ka shoko kobasa. Showala sa wala ka shoko kobasa. Shokabasa wala ka shoko kobasa. Babaka wala ka shoko kowala sa. Awalaka shoko kobasa, shokabasa walaka, awalaka shoko kowalasa, shokabasa walaka, awalaka shoko kowalasa, shokabasa walaka, shoko kowalasa, shokabasa walaka. Take a deep breath in, let that go. There you go, my friend. Namaste. There you go, Alara.
I'm here. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
How's everybody doing? Still coming back. How are you feeling?
Oh,
What did
yeah.
you perceive? What did you receive as well? Right? What did you
Yeah.
receive?
Yeah, always takes a minute to come back. That was a really, seemed like it was quick, but it was just really powerful energy. It's amazing how when like-minded people come together, the power of the energy that's created.
Oh, good. Oh, nice, Sarah. She said, I brought my girls in and filled us all with energy. Good. Angela says, a reminder of the thrill of life. Nice. That was joyful and exciting. Good. I'm glad. Oh my goodness. Whew,
I was going to say too, and offer A in the 33 days, everybody in your family that lives at that location and your animals are brought in. So it's not just for the person that signs up, it's anybody that's in your family that's at that physical location. And that's because the space, the energy is sent to the space that you're living in.
Mhm.
And anybody, and plus you're emotionally connected to them. So everybody is going to be, you know, is brought into this as well.
Yeah. Beautiful.
It's in your family.
Good. Even if you don't feel anything, just receive.
Yeah,
Laura C
exactly.
says magical joy. Thank you. Debbie said it was peaceful. Sally says wonderful. If you don't, some people don't feel, that's okay. Just be willing to receive. Right? We were talking about receiving. We were talking about trusting on the call, right?
Yeah, and if you don't feel anything, that's okay. Now, I always tell my clients that, you know, when I'm working with them, if you don't feel it, because see, we're in the generally the 5D when we're doing this work. Like, so when I'm doing it, I'll feel any energetic shifts in the moment or releases in the moment. But when we're listening to something, we're often in 3D or 4D, so we won't necessarily feel that. We might feel it later, or we might have an interaction with somebody that's maybe a little bit different or a higher frequency than before. So it doesn't necessarily come in the moment and you feel something. It can, you know, happen at any time.
Yeah, absolutely. Just be willing to receive after the call, even, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so I don't think we have any more time left for any questions, but at the same time, I do have a personal request. I'm going to take advantage of this platform to ask for something. I just found out today that my dad has COVID or whatever. He's been tested positive, and so he's not doing well. And my mom is also not feeling well, but she tested negative. And they're both high risk because my dad has COPD, so he has issues with his lungs. And of course, my mom is a cancer survivor. So any blessings, I would greatly appreciate them for them. I didn't, you know, my sister messaged me and said, did you talk to mommy? It's like, no. So, you know, they don't tell me anything because they don't want to worry me because I'm so far away, and what can I do, right? Like, come on. It's not about the physical distance. So I would appreciate any prayers, any blessings that you can send to them. You can just call them Alara's mom and dad. that will work. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
Your dad has a lot of fear laying on his heart, on his chest area, like over his lungs there. So yeah, let's just bless. I mean, and it affects everybody. So everybody, you know, when we bless somebody, it supports us and everybody else. So let's just bless your parents and specifically send this energy of love and grace and blessings to his heart and his chest area and his lungs. There you go. There you go. Shokabasa walaka shoko kowalasa shokabasa walaka walase shoko kowalasa shokabasa walaka shoko kowalasa shokabasa awalaka shokabasa wala katoko kobasa wala sha sokabasha wala katoko kowalasa shokabasa wala ka. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. Because you know how hard it is for me since I'm so far away and I can't go that far away leaving Robert. So, you know, so I really, really appreciate it. Oh, yeah. So Abby, I just saw, I didn't get to your message. I'm sorry. I know there were so many messages in the chat and so much, so many people wanted to work with you today, Joy. So we'll have to have you back on earlier, not wait a couple of seasons, but we'll have to have you back on sooner to do a follow-up call for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate it. You have no idea how much you're all such a blessing to me. I don't want to cry. But you're all such a blessing to me. And so I really appreciate any support. So thank you. And Joy, this was,
Thank you,
this
everybody.
call went so fast, but
It did, yeah.
and we did so much, or you did so much, but so thank you. And again, please, everyone, take a look at the offers from Joy. Like I said, her freedom clearing is awesome. Her personal sessions are awesome. And that package A, there's so much in it. So please do take advantage of all of that. And there are 2 and 3 part payment plans available. Plus, don't forget the 10% gift code from me personally, TACS10. So take advantage of that as well. All right. So thank you. I'm going to call them
everybody.
now, see how they're doing. But it's like, really? Do I need more stress? Really? This too shall pass. But so thank you, Joy. This was awesome.
Thank you. Bye,
All right,
everybody.
everyone. Thank you so much. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. You're all going to make me cry. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, I have to stop because I will cry. So don't write anything else in the chat now because, yeah, okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.